welcome to a very special episode of the IAA Mobility Visionary Club. We're coming to you today from the Munich Urban Collab on the sidelines of the Future Tech Days. Startups and corporates are coming together to exchange energy and ideas. My next guest is a startup with a lot of fresh ideas. Daniel Gamber, you're the Chief Commercial Officer of Control. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So what's your personal story? How did you end up working in this industry, and why have you spent your entire career here?
Yeah, my passion has always been the future of mobility. Coming from an electric vehicle environment at BMW, a startup has brought me to Hong Kong. So the China ecosystem related to mobility has fascinated me, the pace has fascinated me. And then I spent 2 years in the US in Silicon Valley working for a tech startup, ultimately being exposed to sort of an environment where different backgrounds, cultures and people come together, fantastic ideas emerge. Yeah.
Why did you come back here? Why did you want to be in Europe?
I do believe that the European ecosystem is fantastic. We have not just sort of strong corporates and automotive companies that have demonstrated fantastic capabilities to bring exciting products to life, but also sort of highly educated tech talent that wants to see a future in sort of sophisticated vehicle and autonomous driving technology. Now with Control, again, we bring that together. We have a very multinational and cross-functional team that dedicates days and nights to actually help make autonomous driving technology and automated solutions safer. And the personal motivation is to ultimately increase the speed and to help bring technology on the street.
So you're someone who has a lot of cross-cultural expertise. You mentioned you've worked in California, you've worked in Hong Kong. What's one thing you learned there that you've brought back here? And what's one thing you think other countries could learn from the European startup ecosystem?
That's a great question, and I think any company benefits from sort of a multinational and multicultural background, and it's not just about who you are as a person, but also what experience do you bring to the table. And it's always fantastic to listen, to learn, and to also challenge your own way of thinking. Without that, barely any sort of exciting things will happen, I guess. So that has been a fantastic experience and learning journey, and it's a lifelong journey at the end of the day. In terms of how maybe Silicon Valley and the European startup ecosystem differ, it's certainly in terms of the approach to risk, and you always have venture capital or risk capital related discussions. I do think a lot of things have changed and are changing. So I'm very excited to see that, especially when it comes to vehicles and automation in that sense. Europe will be a breeding ground going forward. And Mercedes, for instance, has demonstrated as sort of the first automotive company to deploy a level 3 street legal system on German streets that it doesn't always just take a sort of a US tech play to advance and to be the first.
Yeah, and the regulatory component is super important.
Absolutely.
What is the secret as a startup to working together with a corporate? What's the magic ingredient?
That's a great question. Ultimately, you need to have a joint goal and a joint vision of what you're trying to achieve, and then you always have to have sort of what I like to call an internal champion on both sides that have a sort of a vested interest in a joint project. And it doesn't have to always be a sort of a fully formalized relationship. You can be very hands-on and sort of success-focused and develop things along the way. So that has proven to be a very exciting journey for us here at Control to work with some of the leading partners in the space related to hardware, to cloud technology, to connectivity, but also to simulation and validation. Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you so much, Daniel Gamber of Control, for being our guest today.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
If you want to learn more about the IAA Mobility Visionary Club, you can check out our other videos. We have in-depth reporting from the field and also interviews and fireside chats with industry insiders and stakeholders. I'll see you there.